Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to MadFest. How is everyone? Give me a cheer. Go on. Awesome. Well, I have to say thank you so much for coming here today when we've just had some respite from the boiling weather yesterday. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing today in one of these brand challenges if you haven't been with us before. What we do is we invite some of the most exciting and best and most brilliant brands from around the world to pose a challenge to our wonderful community of innovators and startups that you'll find just behind us here. And today we have the wonderful LEGO Group posing the challenge, and you'll hear from them in a sec. But what you will hear is 5 really exciting, awesome startups pitching their solution to the LEGO Group's problem. So you'll hear that in a sec. I'm Serena Martin. I'm from CoCubed, which, if you don't know who we are, we basically bring together... Oh, this will tell you who we are, if you can hear that. So we do lots of things starting with but ultimately what we do is we bring together fantastic brands and startups to drive growth and innovation, because we fundamentally believe that the startup community here in the UK and in Europe is like no other and can solve the world's biggest problems. So that's what we're going to do today. And if you come and meet some of our startups in the House of Innovation just behind us, you will get the opportunity to win a gig anywhere in the world to any gig that you want to go. I must say, not Oasis, sorry, but anywhere else, all expenses paid. So please come and do that and sign up, because it's fun. Why not? So I'm going to invite on stage shortly my wonderful friends from the LEGO Group, but I just want to shout out how great they are, because not only are they coming here, one of them has come from Denmark to tell you about how they do innovation and to set this challenge and to judge the wonderful startups that we've got, but they also made a point to remind all of us how important play and creative play is. And you'll notice you've probably got a little Lego set on your seat. Don't touch it now. Make sure you've got it ready, because a little bit later on, we will be asking you to do some stuff with the Lego sets, and I'll give you instructions in a sec, but just hold on to them, and we want you to basically think like a child. On that note, I'm going to ask my wonderful friends from the LEGO Group to come up and tell us about them and their challenge. Come on up. Henry and Michaela, give them a big round of applause.
Hi, everyone.
Do you want to tell us a bit about who you are and what you do at LEGO?
Hi, everybody. I'm Henry Stewart-Reckling, and I'm head of parent and shopper engagement, which is all about catching, keeping, and loving people in our digital ecosystem.
And hi, my name is Michaela, and I'm the one who flew in from Denmark, and I'm really excited to
Applause.
be here. And I'm in charge. I'm heading up a preschool audience at the LEGO Group at what we call PMD, Product and Market Development, so sort of the center of the development of the brick.
Amazing. And can you give us a bit of context to your challenge, which is a really interesting and exciting one?
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're really excited to be here with you today, and we're not going to take too much time because we're excited about everything that you guys have to share with us. But a couple of things we wanted to just kind of start us off with. One of the things is, when was the time that you guys built anything out of pure joy? Because we at the LEGO Group, as Serena also mentioned, we don't just see building as a kind of time pass, but really as a way of learning and, fostering creativity and imagination. So I'm hoping that you will have some fun with your little packs, and yeah, don't touch them just yet. There's a little challenge for everyone coming up. I think so the first thing that I want to say is that there is a really special time for nurturing creativity for preschool children, and we do that by a brick. How many of you know the difference between this brick and that brick? Wonderful. So this is a LEGO Duplo brick. A LEGO Duplo brick is actually 2 times the size of the small system brick. We'll give you some little kind of fun things about that a bit later. But we're here really to talk about preschool children, so children aged 0 to 5. It's the time when actually we get most of the kids coming into the LEGO group. So at the age of 2, that's when most kids start playing with the Duplo brick. A few fun facts. So the Duplo brick has been around for 60 years, coming on in a couple of years' time. It's actually still, the fun thing is that whatever bricks were created 60 years ago still click into the bricks that are created today. So there's this beauty of system in play and the journey in playing. The next fun fact is that LEGO Duplo was the first one to ever have little Duplo figures in it. So even before minifigures were created, we had Duplo figures. They didn't look exactly the same, but they looked quite similar, and we still have them today. The next fun fact is that we were actually with LEGO Duplo the first ones to have IPs, so intellectual property in the play. So we had Winnie the Pooh before Star Wars in the system. So that's a fun fact not many people know. But with that, there's a few more coming. I'll pass over to Henry.
Absolutely. So we take a really audience-first approach to everything we build, the products we build, but also the conversations we have with parents and also adults and obviously children. But for us, we know that preschool parents have a problem to solve. We know that they really are interested in their kids' development. They want their children to have a joyful childhood, but they are also under a huge amount of pressure, time pressure, creativity pressure, and also they want value for money. We know all of this. There's also a lack of understanding of how they can use their Duplo bricks beyond the preschool years. And they've invested a lot of money. Let's face it, this is a high-priced product. We know that. But the problem we really want to share with you all and also share with and solve for today is to really help preschool parents understand that indeed these bricks connect.
Who knew that? I didn't know that.
Right?
Did anyone know that? Okay, a few people did.
Oh, Look at that! Oh, you're giving it away now. But what's really exciting is you can build and build again, and you can reactivate the bricks that you have in your brick bin, be they the large Duplo brick or be they the small system of brick as well, which is incredibly exciting, but preschool parents don't know that. We also know that preschool parents are largely digital, and they seek digital solutions and digital innovation. They want to know how from us on their phones and by digital means. And so we've got quite a unique challenge for them to be able to, time pour, to be able to see how they can build and be inspired and play with their children and learn and develop at the same time and connect their big bricks, which they've invested in, with the small bricks that they might grow into as their children develop and grow older.
So yeah, we call it the graduation from the big brick to the small brick. And I think one of the beauties of the LEGO system in play is that it really stretches from cradle to grave almost, because you have the Duplo bricks for the little ones, then you have the small system bricks, and then later on when people don't have the motoric skills to do the small bricks, they go back to the Duplo bricks. And I think that's part of the fun. So, but we don't want to go all that way. We just want to start first with the preschool. So how do we explain to parents that journey from the small bricks from the big bricks to the small bricks in their preschool time? Just one last thing is that actually a lot of parents sort of start with LEGO Duplo, but then by the age of like 3 and 4, they think that Duplo is too kind of obsolete for them, and then they only rejoin LEGO at the age of 6 or 5 or 6 when they feel like it's now the time for the kids to actually get their hands on the small brick. So that gap of 3-4 is really what we're trying to understand what you guys would suggest we do.
Yeah, so that continuity is actually a really important point, that you can play with your Duplo bricks right the way through and incorporate them into your other sets that you might have.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Please do go sit down. So you'll see quite a round of applause for Henry and Michaela. So you're going to see quite a range of solutions coming up. The first one, I'd like to invite to stage some guys who've really merged the kind of physical, digital with influencers. Tom from Gifter, round of applause, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Lovely to meet you guys. I'm Tom, I'm from Gifter. I'm the founder. We created the company 5 years ago. We saw a wonderful opportunity and saw the question of how do we move children from Duplo to smaller bricks. And we knew that we maybe had the perfect solution in place. What we want to do is we want to let real parents do the storytelling for you, not yourselves. That's really important because fundamentally, the most important thing we need to do is drive trust. And who do children trust the most? Their parents. Parents also trust parents. It's the parents who then educate thousands of children. We need to ditch control and we need to build time to trust and educate every parent out there. We want to get LEGO in the hands of the right audiences first and foremost. We want to build trust with scale with more parents. We have over 5,000 influencers in the UK alone on our database. We know everything about them. We know where they live. We know their age, their gender. We know the children's ages. We know the children's genders. We know the children's interests. We know what the children don't like. So we can make sure that we can target the influencers right at the right age bracket and make sure that we put whatever we like into the box that's perfect for them and their needs as well. What we want to do is exchange those products for beautiful, authentic content that drives incredible word-of-mouth marketing. Gifter, as a full-service agency, we have a very simple model at our company. If the influencer loves it, they're free to share about it. If they don't like it, they just need to tell us why they don't like it, but they have to give us feedback in order to work with Gifter in the future. This enables us to drive real, trustworthy, authentic storytelling at scale. And it also allows brands, including LEGO, to start understanding what the consumers really like, as well as them just being influencers as well. We look after campaign strategy. We look after influencer management. We do all the fulfillment, distribution, and personalization of all these lovely boxes we put together. We do the tracking and reporting, so we know exactly what everybody has said about every single brand and product out there, and we know what the return on investment is for our brands as well. We also delve into the influencers' feedback so we can understand more and learn and allow LEGO to understand how they can do even better campaigns in the future from the information from all these hundreds and possibly thousands of parents we're going to be working with. And then there's content ownership and amplification. How do we amplify these wonderful organic stories to the next level to make sure we're hitting parents across the whole of the UK and across Europe and the US too? Introducing the graduation journey brick by brick. We launched the first parent-powered campaign that celebrates a child's LEGO graduation moment, building pure advocacy. Parents become the guides on everything that is created. We treat every influencer and every child individually to understand their learning needs and how they want to transition from big bricks to little bricks. We can do wonderful things within our boxes. We can include, I'll show you some examples. Influencer brief cards, as you can see here, where we're not controlling the output, we're just guiding the influencers. We're giving them enough information and the right tools to be able to educate their children in the right way. But most importantly, allowing the influencers to create their own storytelling so their friends and family, the ones that they trust the most around them, can also learn about how they are educating their children to move from one brick to another. We can include wonderful different things in the box: a graduation certificate, graduation hat, a graduation gown, but most importantly, other tools as well as the right LEGO bricks to make sure that they are perfect for that individual child to learn in the transition phase too. For the budget that LEGO has put forward, they could reach up to 150 influencers, generating 450 pieces of content, and also allowing themselves to own some of the content as well that they can use across all their other channels, as well as amplifying it further. Oh, bear with me, I've just put my mouse down somewhere. Oh, thank you so much. But we're not going to stop there. once we've done the first test, we want to show LEGO, how do we really scale this up? How do we move this from 150 influencers to 1,000 in the next 12 months? Because that's where it becomes really interesting. And we can individually select strategies throughout the whole year that are always on as well as campaign-based to look at different themes and seasonality, look at different products, and most of all, looking at different children as they come through to make sure we're supporting at all levels. But ultimately, you can start to see the output from 1,000, creating 3,000 pieces of content, drawing millions of pieces of organic impressions, allowing LEGO to own even more of the content and amplifying that content even further. We've quickly become the most trusted influencer gifting agency within the UK. We work within multiple different industries, and we can't wait to hopefully work with LEGO as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Round of applause for Tom. Thank you. Henry and Michaela, do you want to come up? And have you got any thoughts or questions for Tom?
Thank you, Tom. That was great.
Thank you so much.
Should we? I love the building of the trust. I think that's a really important thing, and I think with the authenticity that we're trying to drive as the LEGO Group, I think there's you've definitely hit the nail, and I love that you've called it graduation journey because that's what we call it as well. So thank you.
I had a question,
Yes.
also really spot on, and you got the vocabulary just right. So thank you. And thanks for the effort of putting the physical product together as well. I'm curious as to how you might scale it globally. We're a global brand. Our digital ecosystem spans 44 markets plus 22 languages. How have you perhaps scaled it for some of the other brands that you've indicated here? How has it looked like?
It's a really good question. So we'd start off by doing lots of testing in the UK for the next 3 to 6 months, because that's where we've got the most scale in this one country. Then we can break into new markets within Europe, which we are doing with some of our clients as well. And we can quickly move over to the US too. So we have the infrastructure to be able to move over when you are ready to move over.
Brilliant. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Tom. All right, let's move on. Next up, we have Naomi from Dotter. Round of applause for Naomi, everyone.
Some of you might remember that when I read LEGO's MadFest brief last year, I immediately thought of the famous Field of Dreams quote, "If you build it, they will come." Except the image in my mind wasn't Field of Dreams, it was this guy. And much like Wayne, the naked Indian returned to my mind, and I admit, my dreams this year. And much like last year, I am still your target audience. 2 of my kids have successfully, well, mostly successfully graduated from big bricks to little bricks, whilst my 3rd will be 4 in a couple of weeks, and we'll be getting a whole host of 4+ LEGO sets on the big day. So why am I back? And how do I think I can meet the brief this year? Well, Dotter is still all about connecting shoppers to their purchase options. And we're also still all about dynamically personalising shopping experiences on the fly at the moment of consumer engagement. And alongside driving purchase intent and action with those parents, we're also still all about delivering real-time insights to optimize your media performance and strengthen relationships with your other customers, the retailers. Successful delivery against this year's brief is going to combine all of those things. But crucially, it will take advantage of our unique ability to apply multiple tags to LEGO products and retailers in our platform, and then leverage those tags to create compelling shopping experiences with links from big bricks to little bricks. My daughter loves Spider-Man, so it was a natural progression to go from this to this. And so the demo that we created this year did the same. Frankly, I wish we'd built it before last week, because it would have made my birthday present shopping a whole lot easier. Engaging with Duplo Spider-Man campaign? Well, get Duplo Spider-Man, but also get 4+ Spider-Man and Hulk and Iron Man. Arrange the experience by character or age or both. Add in CRM capture to enable an ongoing dialogue, with the advantage of already knowing a huge amount about my product, character and retailer preferences. Leverage our toolkit to optimize shopping experiences based on actual shopper data, and then use that same data to make your media spend work harder, to enhance your creative strategy, and to strengthen your retailer relationships. And all that whilst making it easier for me, long-suffering Lego mum, to make the move one more time from big bricks to little bricks, with all of my purchase options and all of the relevant complementary products in one place, wherever I am when I'm engaging with Lego. If you build it, they will come. Or, as Coca-Cola said, truly the Dotter way of working with us is exemplary and sets the bar for what a partnership can bring to life. I would love an opportunity to truly partner with Lego and to strive to innovate and succeed as much in your shopper marketing strategy as you do with what will always be, despite how many times I've sworn when stepping on it, the best toy in the world. Thank you.
Round of applause for Naomi. Henry, Michaela, do you want to hop back up and see what you thought of that? You've got a loyal Lego mum here.
Very much so.
Love it.
That picture's quite disarming.
That will haunt you and everyone in the audience.
Amazing.
Well, thank you so much for such a thoughtful and considered presentation, and also for sharing your personal experience and your children's experience with us. I thought it was a really interesting way of considering how we might solve the problem from a shopper perspective. And of course that pricked my interest, because we're all about making that journey and user journey and make that so connected as you have indicated. I wonder what your experience has been with other consumers. Where's the rub been? Where's the friction been? And how have you perhaps solved it?
So I think one of the challenges, especially with Lego, when you have a direct-to-consumer and all of the benefits that come with a direct-to-consumer channel, you also have, and I know this from personal experience, a lot of other purchase routes. Sometimes it's an, I've got a birthday party, I need to click and collect from Argos because I need it right now. Other times, like my daughter, it's doing the research, it's understanding what are the 4+ sets that are going to suit her. And I think the challenge and the thing that Dotter tries to overcome is why we're called Dotter, right? We're joining the dots with all of the places that shoppers are engaging and all of the different use cases that they have, and using all of that data to then continuously optimize. So no matter what Lego mum is shopping for, it's there, and everything that you want her to see is along there with it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Naomi.
you so much.
I'm good.
Thank you. Thank you, Naomi. Awesome. Next up, round of applause. I'll get you guys clapping. Next up, we've got an innovator who I think will understand really well the playfulness that is so core to Lego. Please welcome Toch from Pict.
Hi everyone, my name is Toch. I'm a co-founder of Pict. We're a next-gen marketing platform, and what we do is we turn everyday moments into interactive brand experiences to help brands better connect with people in the real world. And today, we're going to show you how a solution can definitely help Lego. So, the issue is, there's no real clear bridge between going from Duplo to Lego sets. Definitely, there's a lot of informations, labels, but what we think is that there's a way to do it where it can be a shared experience between parents and also their families. So, in practice, what it looks like, it starts with a simple scan. You scan, for example, a Lego box, and that throws you into an augmented reality challenge. And what that does is that you go on little tasks, for example, like you collect 3D items with your kid, and once that is done, you're able to win a little reward. You get a digital badge for the kid, and for the parent, it could be a reward such as a discount, a limited set, a set recommendation, and for example, let's say in the UK, for one lucky winner, it can be like, for example, a trip to Legoland. Now, I took a video this morning at my house just so that I can show you what it kind of looks like in practice. Voila. So it is, for those that know Pokemon Go, our concept was actually derived from that. Now, how does this actually work after this step is done? Once this step is done, what we want to do is we invite people onto the LEGO brand app, and once they are on the brand app, they're basically able to go on these 3D scavenger hunts, but it doesn't stop there. With our technology, what people will be able to do is anytime you cite something from LEGO, let's say a billboard or you see a sign in the store, you're basically able to scan it, something will pop out that, for example, the kid will love, and then you're basically able to earn points. And obviously, if you do buy, for example, a Lego set, then you get even more points, and you could be thrown into, for example, a premium tier, which does give you a chance of winning whatever exclusive prize. And this is something that is actually fun for parents to do while they're waiting on their kids at different activities. And also we have a kid mode, so like the parent can just give it to a child. You click on the kid mode, we ensure safety. It's just little objects floating around that you can collect and interact with, which people love. Now, how do we see this in practice? How it would work is that we'll run a 6-month pilot where we basically build all of it. The Picked app is already available. We'll run the campaign. And during those 6 months, what we do is we would work closely with the LEGO internal teams in building a brand dashboard. Basically, the brand dashboard will allow LEGO to understand how people move, how people discover their brand, and how they interact with the brand. Once that dashboard is ready, then we'll give it off to LEGO, and then they'll be able to continue creating these experiences for as long as they want. And the last part is whenever it's ready, we'll be able to integrate into LEGO apps, and then this is something that you'll be able to give to your consumers now and later and forever. And one of the things is that Picked works on devices for now, but also optimized for devices of the future, spatial devices, that there's a whole new wave of them that's on the way already. So we're optimized for that. Basically, with Picked, we think that LEGO is much more than a toy. It should be an adventure that is shared between family and friends, and that's something we want to build one brick, one badge, and one memory at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Tosh. Henry and Michaela, do you want to come up and tell us what you think about virtual treasure hunts?
Thank you so much. So I have a quick question. How would you, so I get the kind of Pokemon Go hunting. My children wouldn't put their phones down. How would you go about explaining to people the difference between the small and the big brick? Is that just through whatever they would be looking for, or have you thought about that?
Yes, so it would be through whatever it is that they're looking for, because it can be interactive learning. So anything that you scan, it can bring out like a little video, something interactive, and then it's just like little pieces of a puzzle, and that basically people are able to like understand when it's time to make the transition and what that brings.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love the playfulness, and I really like the tagline too.
Thank you.
And I think it's a smart way to integrate into a loyalty program like Insiders.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. Right, next up, which I hope is next, but let's see. Oh, can I? Brilliant. Next up, a company that's really revolutionizing precision customer insights. Please welcome Alex from Somin.
I love Lego. When I was a kid, I really liked to play it. I went to train when we traveled to play it, and I always carry it with me. And this is truly bright childhood memories that I really keep in my mind. And every time when my kids play, I always try to sneak in and play with them because it's just so enjoyable. The thing is, when I was young, there was no problem of graduating from Duplo because there was no really Duplo, at least in the market where I was. So I was playing with those small bricks and having fun from a very early age. Maybe that's the reason I decided to do my PhD later. However, now Lego get a problem. Kids don't want to graduate from big bricks to small bricks. But actually, this is something very important for them because that helps them with creativity. That helps them to develop. And if you will look at the research, you will know that that helps them to develop that ZPD pretty much the moment when actually they challenge their ceiling to grow, and it's very important for their future. So when you are engaged in a play, you are actually creating these ZPDs for kids. It just needs to be a little bit assisted by the parents so that you can go through this journey together. And for the parents, it means that they have to do it together with their kids. However, from the marketing perspective, we're going to create communication in every single market, from Asia to Brazil to UK, so that it hits on the card of the parents to encourage them that this is exactly the activity they need to engage them. Just think about Asian parents that push kids to study all the time, or parents here in the UK. It's very, very different, right? Hi, my name is Alex Farsiev. I'm a CEO and co-founder of So Monitors, a platform that helps brands to create marketing strategies and generate content insights based on the creator and brand data across the world with the power of AI. So how does the platform work? I took particularly Taiwanese data because it's Chinese. Nobody understood it, including myself. We pulled all the data from brands, from creators, from competitors. In Taiwan, we have a huge competitor called Giga, which is actually communicate more than Lego about the need of education of the parents. We sub-selected only parent-related and educated content and automatically break down all this content on the communication concepts, such as audiences, interest, tone of voice, all the angles they need to take, and then automatically generated key personas and key pain points that brands there are actually addressing to encourage parents to engage with these ZPT activities with the kids. Then we picked up those personas that are the blind spots. For the Lego, that would be the parent that is innovator, but also at the same time very much concerned about kids' education, the different education systems applied on their kids. Our platform then automatically generated moments of truth that can be used as a brief to brief your Taiwan or Brazil or Spain team to address that particular thing that hits the parents' hearts. So it could be the 0 moments of truth for search and SEO. It could be life moments like a school graduation. It can be tactical moments that we'll use in your ads. This all supported by global web index data, so that you're not going to advertise to an air. That actually have a real behavioral data support behind, showing that in Taiwan, kids particularly search things on search engines and then TV, and then maybe not in social, because that's not the channel where they find the brands. And also you'll find that in Taiwan, those kind of parents really, really care travel activities. So maybe the content we should create should be like from my childhood when I'm traveling in a train and playing Lego. For mother care, they have saved 80% of the time on the briefing and 74% on analytics by using this approach as well. So what are you waiting for? This is already running for you for 5 markets, and we just set it up 2 yesterday. So you can start to use it tomorrow. I don't need to wait for that. Download the case study and get in touch with us on the booth. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Let's get Henry and Michaela back up now. We're nearly there, guys. One more startup to go. But I love how this brief and this challenge has brought out so many personal stories from everyone involved. It's so lovely to hear. And I never knew what was it ZPD was, Zone of Proximal Development, until then. So thank you, Alex.
Well, I learned about it yesterday as well.
Awesome. Guys, take it away.
So I just want to say thank you so much for bringing your personal story. I think that's an amazing insight to your childhood and how you connected with the brand and the brick as well. I'm curious as to how you can't.
Can you guys hear? Yeah? Okay. Sorry.
I was really wondering how in particular you would tailor your program to answer the question. It's a bit broad, I know, but I was curious. I would almost wanted a little bit more of a build from you to understand a little bit more how would you tackle the problem that we have.
So we knew that we were pitching for this yesterday. Today, 7 a.m., I start preparing for the pitch.
Yeah.
And just in 1 hour, I pull all your data, and I know exactly what Taiwanese versus Brazil parents are talking about. And not just all parents, but those particular ones that are concerned about developing kids faster and better, so that Lego can become part of that story in the communication. So that ideal example that I give to you is a result of 1 hour of work, including the slides, as compared to what you have last time, when you have to spend weeks on this and tailor your content to every market that you have. And this is the idea. Now we have AI and the data that can help you to be hyper-local and very relatable, very easy. So for Taiwan, that would be talking about kids' development while traveling and pushing their limits in order to get them graduate and be heroes and achievers by actually making something a little bit more complicated. So they are now big kids. But in UK, it will be something different, and we can figure it out together easily.
I love it. So you're bringing relevance to our challenge. I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome. Right, you guys are very nearly there to start playing with your Lego sets, but we have one more company left, the wonderful Ivan from AdTest.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ivan. I'm one of the founders and the main founder of AdTest AI. I came up with AdTest AI as a way of people testing the 90% of adverts that are not tested normally and being able to get insight from them. Costs have been so high that people just don't test. We've come up with something that allows them to be able to test in a cost-effective way and gather the information that they need. We're here to help you and your team really using AI and, most importantly, real audience insights, which without audiences, we believe that, that AI just doesn't work. It becomes unhinged and goes off in lots of different directions of what it's got to do. So audiences pull it back in, and that human content is essential. We'll help by giving you clarity at every step of your journey to bold, high impactful ideas that resonate with your audience. And we don't know what your audience is at the moment. I know we're saying it could be mothers, but we don't really know what that is. And that's something we believe we need to have a custom situation and find out exactly what that is to resonate with what you're looking to do in this challenge that's there. We want to do it quickly and at a price that means you can test really all of your campaigns, whether it's a Facebook or Instagram post, or whether it's something where you're putting some money behind it and you want to really push it. You could even test your Lego movie. You could test anything you wanted, on there as it's going through. From TikToks to TV spots, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X. Our map for you, and which is what we're going to go through here, is really to give you a custom solution, which we began to develop yesterday, but we only came on yesterday, so it's a few hours to really do this, so it's not quite finished yet. We'll be testing multiple creatives. We don't do the creatives, you've got the creatives, but we need to be able to amend those creatives with you and see how that resonates with not only the AI audience, but the real audience, to understand who your audience actually is. We've got to remember, really, we've all got our little character here, our Lego characters, but every great build starts with a helping hand. From the child's point of view, it's the parent. We want, from Lego's point of view, for it to be AdTest AI. So, to start with, we're going to gather insight that you need to understand, and we need to generate that really from good creatives. And this talks about the creative process. Our platform's designed to help you build content and resonate. So we'd work with your teams and we build content that we could then gather insight from. Refine early stage concepts, anything from the storyboard, messaging, design, and copy, really in minutes, not in days. Our videos take about 3 minutes. Our images take 30 seconds to give you the answers. And you get all of the answers in a format that will be custom to you to make sure it's covering the areas. We'll see some of that in a moment. We can then tweak that, the messaging, to fit every builder's journey as they graduate from Duplo to the small bricks. We want to refine the home pages, the banners, the email, the messages on the performance assets to give you the answer that you need. And that will be based on the insight that we're able to gather. So, we looked at two images. These are old ones that we found. We didn't find images really at the moment, or videos at the moment, that we felt really pushed the LEGO Duplo movement that you're looking for just now. So we took this one, and really to show the platforms that we've picked, the content there. We think that every little boy wants to be a spaceman or a rock star, and I think there was a fireman as well was the third one. So we compared these two old campaigns, we agree, and we looked at 10 areas which you can see here to look at, and these were the 10 areas that we came up with. The core message and the clarity, we gave it a score out of 10 for each one. Originality, emotional resonance. We added in the Duplo Lego bridge. That was something from yesterday to look at how we could bridge that in and how we could measure that. We took the brand recognition and perception, the call to action. In this case, there wasn't a clear call to action. Nowadays, these are old. There would have been, I know, a call to action, but it's not there at this stage. We looked at the shareability and engagement. These were highly shareable. The overall effectiveness, the production quality, and when we compared it against other benchmarks for the industry. Not this, Lego hasn't got too many competitors direct for Lego, but there's other people in there, and we wanted to compare that as we were going along. I'm just going to pick on 5 specific ones, whoops, on here. And we're going to talk about, first of all, the emotional resonance that came out from there. First of all, the Spaceman was chosen as the better of the 2 that were coming out. And here's some of the reasons why it was chosen. It wasn't a huge difference, but there was a difference, and the Spaceman came out. It has a strong emotional appeal and tone. The raised hand of the boy shows curious gaze and nostalgic sci-fi reference. It evokes ambition and wonder. It's compelling for both children and parents. The gentle guidance from Duplo to Lego, this was a new one we added in on the bridge. It says the concept reflects progression, but the lack of Duplo, which is what you were talking about earlier, they could have just had some Duplo bricks in the image, and then the boy could be holding the Duplo as it was going along. It would have made a big difference to what it was doing, but there was nothing Duplo, so it scores slightly lower on that basis. The brand Lego recognition and perception is clean, it's noticeable. The visuals and the execution are enhanced by the bold imaginative and feeling. And the call to actions. We said it's an old ad. It wasn't really there. So we weren't going to see any specific spike that was coming on there. They believed really that even though there was no prompt, the Explore Lego was still a good tagline, and it would still get people talking about it. And especially with the image, they believed that people would be sharing that image and showing it to other people. So we then looked at the last areas where it's highly shareable and memorable, and we looked then at the targeting. Who would we resonate this to, and where would it go? So we looked at age and gender. We said it came up with parents, age 25 to 40, slightly broader general appeal, with kids aged 3 to 6. So we'd be looking now to target, when we're doing our research, parents or mothers and fathers, and we'd split them out. And I would say, as a grandparent, I buy lots of Lego. I buy it for my kids all the time. Grandparents might be a good thing as well to be doing as you're going along there, because there's lots of grandparents. I spend a fortune on it. So the last thing is, it tells us what platforms to do. It depends on the image and on the creativity, what it is. This one would have been Google Ads, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Then what we're saying is now it's time to add and understand the audience. So we've got our image. We want to understand who that audience is resonating with. You're going to now layer in that audience. You can A/B test up to 5 creators. We did 2 as you saw on here. You're picking from a standard or custom templates. We designed custom templates for you specifically for this process to make sure that it came along and that you could use those as it's going through. But after that, it's self-service. You can just upload the image and it does it all for you and gives you the results. We built a filter by age, gender, location, and we can ask specific question. Which of the following would you choose for your children? Lego, Duplo, Mega Blocks, Mega Construct, Playmobil, KNX. We can look at you and your competitors and understand what's going on there as it's going through. And finally, if we only want people who actually are using Duplo and are moving towards Lego, we can actually filter that and say we only want those 100 people. So if we're taking 100 to 300, we want 100 that all fit that bit, and we don't want anybody else in there. So we can really give lots of different ideas on the inside. You can even ask questions. Do you understand why people did not make the move from the large bricks to the small bricks? Anything you want to do, it's customizable as it's going through it, and then it becomes part of the AI engine that we'll be building for you at that stage. So all the answers we'll then give you are going to resonate with whom and why. We're going to know how to localize across personas and regions, which copy visuals and layouts drive results and which ones don't. With a breakdown by, in this case, mum type, the age of the children, the audience interest and device usage, and lots of other things that are in their hobbies and various things to go through. Finally, if you're A/B testing, we're going to give you the answer of which one comes out best on the creative. And finally, the last thing is, if you've got people who love data, we give you the whole data file for them to then look at that data. They can put it into R or SPSS or anything, and they can analyze that to see how's the AI doing in comparison to what we are doing. Decline this, sorry.
Oh.
That wasn't good yet. Something's coming up on top of it. Okay, so the next slide that we've got here is your question. This is our final slide. So now we've got how do we create that bridge in shoppers' minds and excite kids to move from the big bricks to the small bricks? That was your question. Our answer is with anti-SDI and custom insight. The insight's key here. It's important that we get the creatives, but it's what we gather from that to know how to then develop the future creatives that you're actually going to use. We want to know your audience, identify it, what resonates with them, and how to reach them. It will take a lot of testing, and it's going to take a lot of work, but the costs are low. Each test on AI is £1. That's all it's costing us to do it. So the costs are low and you can test as much as you want to actually get through there. So, as your movie says, we want to make your insight and conversion become awesome. With that, I pass over to you for any questions, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ivan. Henry and Michaela, do you want to come up for one last time? Thank you. So AI will tell you if your ads are shit or not.
Oh,
what do you
great. So I'm very interested about the competitive comparison, actually.
Yeah.
So I think our ads are great, right? No,
They are good.
but-
I would say that, but they are
I
good,
think-
but they're
I
not
think-
perfect.
Oh, no, definitely not. So I think there's definitely something to that. But would you take a certain moment in time to compare it to our key competitors and
So the AI has been designed already to look at competitors. We put it in the direction of where it is. With you, what we're saying is we'd have to develop something custom to go in there. We're not taking years to do it. We're talking days or weeks to do it. But we develop something specifically over what you're looking to do, which is move them from the two bricks to the two bricks. We'd look at your competitors there, and we'd specifically put your competitors in and ask the AI to go out and churn and look at what other people have been doing and how you're comparing to them in what you're doing. And that's where we get the competitive score. It's already in there, the competitive score, and you scored quite well in it, but that's where it is. It's important not just to let the AI. One thing we know from AI is if we just let it run away, it won't necessarily pick everything that's perfect. So we're going to tell it what to pick, and we're going to make sure that it picks what you want.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty. So Henry and Michaela are going to go and put their judging hats on and pick a winner. But in the meantime, we're going to have a bit of play. So have you all got the Lego sets, the duck Lego sets on your seat? What I'm going to ask you to do is take 45 seconds. I'll give you a minute. Take them out. And basically your challenge is build a duck, right? Build a duck. That is what you're doing. You've got 6 pieces in there. 5 pieces, 6 pieces. I want you to interpret a duck with the Lego small bricks. And I'm going to wander around and I may pick on you to explain what it is you've created and tell me about it. How people doing? Oh, okay. Okay. We've got, most people seem to be starting with the big yellow and then the smaller yellow. Oh, that's quite cool.
Going for a Pablo Picasso kind of duck.
Yeah, this guy's inspired by Picasso. We've got a Picasso-inspired duck. What else have we got? How are people doing? Oh, how's everyone doing here? Come on, guys, build your ducks. Oh, you don't have one. There's some spare ones on the front. How are you doing? Oh, wow. Oh, my God. That's probably perfect, but that's amazing. What are you going to call it?
It's like the duck nest monster.
Duck nest monster. We've got a punner. Brilliant. You definitely win a prize for punning. How's everyone doing at the back? How are we doing? Oh, that looks quite good.
Simple.
Simple. I like him. Have you got a name?
Fred.
Fred. We've got Fred the duck and duck nest monster. How are people doing at the back? Just don't think because you're hiding at the back you don't get to play. Okay. How are you doing? Oh, you've got a nice duck. Tell us about your duck.
It is a duck called Mr. Ducky.
Mr. Ducky, nice.
What do you want to know about it?
Well, tell us about its life.
It was born in Birmingham and lives in a lake.
Born in Birmingham, lives in a lake. Anyone over here? How's some ducks over here? Anyone want to tell us about their duck? You've got a duck. Tell us about your duck. Oh, yours looks really good, actually. I like your duck. What's your duck's name?
It's a Greek duck,
It's a Greek duck.
and it's called Puppy.
Puppy. Is that?
Puppy.
Okay, nice. We've got Greek duck, Brummy duck. We've got the duck nest monster, which I presume is Scottish, but let's check. How's everyone doing? Right. I think you've all done really well here. Anyone else want to show us their ducks? Oh, sorry, you're taking a selfie. I thought you wanted to. Oh, you've got a slightly flying duck.
I have a flying duck.
Flying duck. Excellent. I don't know if ducks fly, but that's awesome. Anyone else want to show us their ducks? You've all done really well. Should everyone lift up your ducks so we can see? Nice. So I'm going to ask a question. So what strikes you? Hold them all up. Hold them all up. What strikes you when you look at all of these? Look across the room and look at the ducks. What strikes you? Any thoughts? I'm going to come to you.
Everyone's done it differently.
Everyone's done it differently, absolutely. And do you know how many permutations there are of those bricks and the number of ducks you can create. Anyone want to guess a number? Anyone?
100,000?
100,000. Anyone going to go higher than 100,000? No? It's 9 million. There are 9 million ways you can make a duck out of those. Is it 5 Lego pieces you've got? So I hope you enjoyed that in a very Lego way. Please have a think about, did you enjoy making that duck? What skills have you used? Because one of the things that is really important to Lego is just building a duck with 5 or 6 bricks apparently uses 26 different neural skills. So without knowing it, you are making yourselves really, really clever by just having a little play just now whilst our judges deliberate. I don't know how they're doing. So I suppose what I want to say and what our friends at Lego wanted to remind everybody of is we all spend a lot of time at conferences. We all do our jobs in marketing. We have all the fun of working in big companies or agencies. But please, please take a moment of your day to think about play, to think about creative play, to put yourself into your child's feet if you have them and just think like a child, play like a child, come up with a silly name for a duck, give your duck a backstory, come up with a pun, and I hope that's made you realize how important and how much fun creative play is. Round of applause for all your ducks. Bravo. Right, I think we have a winner, so I'm going to invite Henry and Michaela back on stage. I think. Excuse me. Just for Henry and Michaela, when they come back up, can you hold up your ducks so that they can see them? Everyone, when they're back, hold up your ducks. Are they coming? Guys? They're having a final conversation. Right. They're all going to hold up their ducks for you to see. Everyone hold up your duck for Henry and Michaela. Look at all the beautiful ducks we've made. Aren't they lovely? We've got the duck nest monster. We've got a duck from Birmingham in a lake. Got loads of different ducks. Come on up and tell us, well, tell us, what did you think of the startups, the innovations? It was quite a range. There was AI, there was UGC, there was influencers, there was insights. What are your thoughts in totality?
Thank you. I think super impressed. Thanks for taking the time to think about the challenge, and also thank you, audience, for being here and supporting. We've really enjoyed ourselves, and we've really enjoyed the new perspectives of how you guys approach the challenge. We have picked a winner, but before we go there, we just wanted to say we really appreciate and value every single input. They're all, I think there are bits of all of them that are very useful to us. So it was a pretty hard contest for us. But yeah, Henry.
Agree, you really made us think. So we're very grateful for that input. But there was one that stood out, not only for answering, we think, a parent problem to solve. So low on time, creativity, and wanting solutions, but also one that would solve a problem for us in connecting the dots, and that goes to Dotta.
Dotta, Naomi, come on up! Yay! Wonderful, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And Dotta, you get a prize. Do you want to open the prize? Open the prize.
So you might want to share the prize.
If you'd like to share
everyone.
the prize and pose for photos. Yay. And it's Bluey as well, which is actually the coolest cartoon ever. Everyone loves Bluey. Who loves Bluey? Gotta love Bluey. Thank you.
So hopefully you're solving problems for parents, and we're solving problems for you and your daughter's birthday.
Exactly.
And happy birthday to Naomi's daughter, Rosabelle. Happy birthday, Rosabelle.
Happy birthday.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Henry and Michaela. Thank you, Dotta.
you.
Thank you, all our wonderful startups, for all the effort you put in and all your brilliant pictures. That is it for today. Thank you for indulging us in having a bit of fun with Lego sets. We really hope you'll stay and meet all the other startups. If you head round there and exit round there, you'll be able to see loads of them. Otherwise, meet us back here tomorrow at 10 o'clock for Mars. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So we'll definitely connect.